Hey guys, how you doing? It's Pete here. I hope you're well. Today I'm playing a little bit of Rush on some of the endgame maps. What I want to talk to you about is what are the 5 things you would really love to see in Battlefield 4 that you haven't heard about yet. What I mean by what you haven't heard about yet is not something you've seen announced at E3 or anything you've heard from any of the alpha footage. What I mean is, imagine if the creative director at DICE gave you a call and said, hey, what are the 5 things we could put in this game that you would really like to see? To get things going, I'll tell you what my 5 things are that I would really love to see in Battlefield 4. Now these 5 things range from being quite outlandish, some of them being more of a pipe dream of mine that they're in the game, to some of them being perhaps a little bit more realistic that we might actually get to see in the game. Okay, so number 5, I'd really like to see the return of the Ghillie Suit to Battlefield 4. I absolutely loved the Ghillie Suit in the Bad Company series. I thought it was awesome. And wouldn't it be cool if we could have bushwalkies back in Battlefield 4? Maybe it would have to be the reserve of the bolt action sniper though, because we've heard so far that the recon class will be able to run with carbines and PDWs possibly. And one of the few things about Battlefield 3 that I really don't like is the soldier uniform or look of the recon class. Now the next thing I would really like to see in Battlefield 4, and it's been much speculated about, there's been lots of rumours, and it's a bit of a fan favourite to talk about, and that is Dino Mode. Ooh. Yeah, the thing about Dino Mode is we don't even know how it will work. But it just sounds cool. I guess it will be a bit like a survival mode, like you're being hunted by pterodactyls, T-Rex and other carnivorous dinosaurs chasing you down, and you just have to kill them and last as long as you can. Or maybe the game mode will include dinosaurs versus soldiers. Maybe you can be a dinosaur flying around the map hunting down soldiers who are trying to shoot you down. It's a little bit silly, it's a little bit whimsical, but at the end of the day, if you don't like it, you don't have to play that game mode, and it's only going to add something to the franchise, because look what these game modes do to other games. Lots of people actually get quite hooked into these things and really enjoy them, and it does add to the game, it does increase the player base. And as I say, if you don't like it, you don't have to play it. Moving on to point 3, and a bit more of a serious one now. I would really like to be able to cook grenades before I throw them. You know, I don't know how the game would balance it, what the developers would do. Maybe when you cook the grenade, there is a fuse that could be anything between, say, 3 to 5 seconds maybe, before it explodes. But I really like the idea of being able to cook them to give the enemies less chance to escape the grenade when it lands. And there's a danger there for you as well. If you're the one cooking the grenade and you cook it too long, it's going to go off in your hand. It will add a little bit more strategy to using the grenades. I mean, we know already there's going to be incendiary grenades, and there's also going to be some kind of stun or flashbang grenade. Imagine cooking the grenade for a few seconds, lobbing it over, and it literally exploding in mid-air and wiping out a couple of enemies. That would be really cool. My number 2 thing that I'd like to see in Battlefield 4 is this idea of having 3 factions at war with each other at the same time. So imagine at the moment in Battlefield 3 we have the Russians versus the US. But imagine a game mode, and I don't know how feasible this is, this might be completely ridiculous and impossible, but just imagine this, having 3 factions all fighting it out over one point, or having a game mode to incorporate that. Would it be hard to balance? Hell yeah, it would be really hard to balance. But it could add something. Probably not for competitive play, but there could be some kind of King of the Hill situation where you have 3 factions, Chinese, Russian, US, all battling each other to take the hill. You could have some really awesome battles fighting on different fronts. It might not be your go-to game mode, but it could be a nice change of pace from Conquest or Rush or Team Deathmatch. What do you think? And now it's time for my number 1 addition that I would like to see in Battlefield 4. And that is much more soldier customization. I mean, at the moment we've learnt there's going to be much more camos, and that's a really good thing. I like the idea of having more camos to suit my soldier out in. But imagine if you could decide the soldier's gender, their ethnicity, exactly what they're wearing, maybe the gear they wear, different headgear. Maybe if you're in the desert you could have a hat with a rim to keep the sun off your head and off your neck. Maybe you could wear sunglasses. Maybe you could have a bandana. Maybe that bandana could be tied round your forehead in like a Rambo style. I don't know, there's just so many possibilities. And it's like one of the things that is kind of irritating with Battlefield 3. And as I said before, there isn't a lot of things I don't like about Battlefield 3. But it is kind of irritating to me how all the assault class on one side all look exactly the same. And all the support class look exactly the same. Barring a few differences, yes, you can change slightly like the camo. But I would really like to be able to individualise what my soldier looks like. Of course there'd have to be some running trends. The assault guy would always have to have that backpack on that made you realise it's an assault guy because he's got the first aid kit. And the support guy would always have to have the ammo pack hanging off his back or whatever. But that doesn't mean you have to look exactly identical and have the exact same soldier. What do you think about that? Wouldn't you like to be able to customise the look of your soldier more? If you're a female, wouldn't you like to be able to have a female soldier? Would you like to be able to wear sunglasses or a different kind of hat? Or outfit your soldier, I don't know, different gloves, maybe that's a bit too much. But you know what I mean, wouldn't it be cool? Maybe that's getting a bit too much into the sort of role-playing game side of it, and that's really not what Battlefield is. It's meant to be a tactical first-person shooter. What's wrong with a bit more customization and individualization? What do you reckon, guys? Do you like this, or are you happy with how things are with just a few more additional camos for your generic uniform? Those are my 5 things that I would really like to see in Battlefield 4. What would you like to see that you haven't heard about yet? Would you like to see more customization of your soldier, Dino Mode? Other things that you've thought about and thought, God, that would really be cool if that was in the next Battlefield. Anyway guys, thanks for watching this video. Leave some comments below what you would like to see in Battlefield 4 that you haven't heard so far. Feel free to leave me a like, subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and here's a chance to catch up on some of my latest videos. Until next time, adios amigos.